Hi guys, and welcome back to the Excel Tech Mining and Crypto channel. Please like and subscribe and make a comment. If you like the content, it would really help make the channel go a long way. Today is the 24th of September 2022, and last week I gave an update on putting all my hash rate onto Flux mining. So I actually switched all of my hash rate onto FluxPools.net, which is the official FluxPools mining pool from Flux Labs. And what I wanted to do was to see how much Flux I could actually mine and what is this reward that we get paid out with all the hash rate that I have. So with all my hash rate, I have about 400 something souls, and these are all my rigs that are actually currently running on Flux Labs. And what I wanted to do was to see how much of a reward I would actually get, because on Flux Labs pools you actually get weekly rewards for maintaining 95% uptime with your actual mining. So here you can see here on my rewards panel, you can see in the last 7 days. So I started mining last Saturday and now it's 7 days later. So I've kept my 100% uptime and I've earned 1.75 Flux. So over the past week, you know, the rewards or the amount of Flux per day that we're getting is actually declining. Probably because of more and more hash rate being spread around after the ETH merge. So according to FluxPools, I'm estimated to be making 1.397 Flux per day, and that does not actually include your parallel assets. So if I click this information button here, if I include PAs, parallel assets, it says I'm supposed to be making about 2.235 Flux in total per day. So I actually did a bit of a spreadsheet to kind of compare what I was doing prior when I was actually mining on Herominers here, and you know, I was getting paid out every day. So what I want to do is compare what I actually received into my wallet on Herominers and what I'm actually receiving in terms of Flux Labs. So the main difference is that with Herominers, they basically pay out the current parallel assets instantly. So every payout that you're getting, you're actually receiving your parallel assets already. Whereas FluxPools, I didn't receive my parallel assets till pretty much today. So I received it 7 days later. So according to what to mine, with my current hash rate, with my current 23090s, 33070s, 1A2000 and 11050 Ti, I'm getting a total hash rate of roughly about 4.2. I'm actually getting a bit higher than that because of my settings. So you see with all my rigs here, I'm averaging roughly about 400 something souls per second. So what I actually did was I did a bit of a spreadsheet and I calculated basically how much I actually received into my ZergPool wallet. So I basically calculated from the 10th all the way up to today how much I've actually received in Flux into my ZergPool wallet, and I've put it into a spreadsheet to calculate roughly, is it better for me to mine on Herominers, or should I stick with Flux Lab pools? So basically you can see here, when I was mining on Herominers, when I put all my hash rate onto the actual pool from the 13th, I was getting about 6.44, 4.45. And then the ETH merge happened, so I was getting quite a lot of Flux still at that time. So post Ethereum merge, you'll see on the 16th and the 17th, I only got about 2.0 and 3.0. So this payout includes the actual parallel assets. Okay, so for that week from the 10th to 17th, I made about 24 Flux. Now, since the Ethereum merge, from the 18th until today, I've only made about 11.9 Flux. Okay, 11.9 Flux. So this includes the actual parallel assets here. So if I minus the parallel assets, I've actually only made about 7 point something Flux, right? So each day I was only making about 1 Flux per day. So if I include the parallel assets I made at the end of the week of 4.84, you'll see I'm making about 1.7 Flux per day, including my parallel assets. Okay, and so I've made 11 Flux over the week, And if you include, like we said here, the loyalty reward that I got paid after 7 days of 1.75, I've made 13.64 Flux. So compared to what I made, previously, it's about half now. So, and that's not completely accurate as well, because I didn't have all of my hash rate on Flux, on the 10, 11, and 12. I had that split between Flux and Nyoxa. So I would have made a lot more if I had put all of my hash rate onto Flux on those 3 days. But you can see there's a massive drop basically in the amount of Flux that we're earning per day. So if I take the average of the 2 days post merge, I was making about 2.56 ETH per day, including parallel assets, and a 7-day average from that, estimated is about 17.94. So currently I've actually only received, from the 18th to the 24th, 13.64. So by this calculation, I should be making, 4 more Flux per week if I stay on Herominers. So I'm just going to do a quick calculation here now according to what to mine, what I should actually make. So give me a second. So according to what to mine, before electricity, we should be making, according to my hash rate, about 1.8919, which includes the parallel assets, okay? So if we come back to our spreadsheet, so according to what to mine, I should be getting a little bit less than what I've actually mined. So it's very close to what Flux Lab is actually paying me right now with the current hash rate. So like I said, what I'm going to do now for the next 7 days is I'm going to switch all my hash rate back over to Herominers and then mine on Herominers for another 7 days and see what the difference is. At the moment, according to my calculations, I would have made a little bit more Flux if I stayed on Herominers even after the weekly 1.74 Flux reward. So what I will do from today is actually switch over to Herominers and then mine for another week, and I'll give everyone an update next week. So I'm currently mining Flux still for what I'm doing with my mining rigs. So I've actually decided to support Flux and mine Flux coins because I can see basically the real world utilization that they're actually building and constructing. And I think in the long term that's going to build price into that because there's real utility behind it. So I actually see kind of like a similarity between Flux, basically their business model, and Ripple with their XRP token. So Ripple is basically trying to target institutions and moving monies cross borders with banks and large institutions. And because their utility, I think in the long term we're going to basically see the price of this go up because there's a real world case for use for this crypto in terms of the business world. And they're still dealing with the lawsuit with the SEC, and so the price is artificially kind of like suppressed. But in terms of like the concept of real world utility behind it, I think in the long term we'll see success in terms of XRP and the price of XRP. So I think Flux is very similar in terms of their token or their blockchain or their token is basically trying to build this network of hardware infrastructure, which we're gonna need to use in the future anyway, right? So basically this hardware for the future of Web 3.0, I can really see how the real world business case behind it is working. So I think that in the long term, I'm going to try and build as much Flux as I can. If the price is good when it dips, I might enter into a position. So I feel like with my mining strategy, sometimes I might purchase actual tokens and stake particular tokens and invest in particular tokens. Right now, during the crypto winter, everything is down. So, for the price of a GPU, we could get into a very good position into a particular coin, like, you know, Bitcoin's coming close to like a very good kind of buy area in the dip, and XRP was previously in a very good area before it started pumping the last couple of days. So I'm basically mining Flux for now and trying to build as much Flux as I can, and so I'll update everybody next week. So we'll see if we actually end up mining more Flux on Herominers than staying with, you know, Flux Lab pools. So I'll give everyone an update next week, and, you know, so it helps everyone to see, you know, sometimes we have to kind of test these pools to see which one's actually making us more coins in the long run when we actually put a hash rate there. So I'll do the testing, and hopefully it benefits the community for everybody who's still actually mining currently. If you're not mining currently, hope you enjoy the content for entertainment, and, you know, you just want to keep in touch with the crypto mining, just to keep interest in the hobby. So hope everyone enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe, it really helps the channel. We'll see you an update next week, and I'll try and update with a different video in between. Okay, thanks guys, see ya.